How's it going? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper, and I am Old Snapper. In this video, we're going to talk about intrastate. What's the difference between intrastate and interstate commerce? And specifically, we're going to be talking about Texas. Now, people working in Texas on intrastate only, can run a whole lot more hours. Their hours of service is quite a bit different than those who run all across the country. And also in this video, I'm going to add in the oil field restart, which is different from the regular 34-hour restart that over-the-road companies do, or even Texas Interstate general freight haulers have to do. We're going to talk about all that right here in this video and explain it and break it down. First, what is interstate? Interstate commerce is any load that picks up in one state and delivers in another. Companies like Creek Carriers, most of your OTR companies are interstate commerce. They follow the FMCSA hours of service rules and regulations. Now, what is intrastate? Intrastate commerce is any commerce that picks up in one state and delivers in one state, in that same state. Now, some examples of that might be cattle haulers, grain haulers, oil field workers, or just people who run general freight. Say they pick up a load in Dallas that delivers in Laredo, and that's all they do though is stay in that state. Now, in order to qualify for intrastate, you got to be registered. You got to have that permit. And I'm going to use Texas for an example because I'm from Texas, so I know Texas rules and regulations for intrastate commerce and for oil field. So I'm going to use Texas as an example. You also have to stay in the state of Texas. Can't leave the state of Texas. Let's say you're on intrastate hours and you leave the state of Texas. Well, then you got to swap over. You got to run FMCSA hours. If you're staying in the state of Texas, you don't leave the state of Texas, and you've been in the state of Texas since your last reset, then yes, you can run Texas intrastate hours of service. All right, which is different. Now, what are the Texas intrastate hours of service laws, rules, and regulations? And how are they different from regular FMCSA? Well, let's get into that. First off, if you're on Texas intrastate hours of service, you get 12 hours of drive time instead of 11. You get 15 hours of on-duty time, and it doesn't work like the 14-hour clock does. When you're OTR, the 14-hour clock keeps counting when you're off duty. So when you're at a shipper or receiver, it keeps counting. In the state of Texas, anytime you go on off-duty time or sleeper berth or well wait time, whatever it is that you're in, other than on-duty or driving, all of your clocks stop. Period. It doesn't matter how long you're waiting. There is no window. That clock stops. If I go to a receiver and I sit there for the next 6 hours, my clock has stopped. If I had 8 hours when I showed up there, I still have 8 hours. Doesn't matter how long I've been there. All right, that's a big difference. Also, you get 70 hours in 7 days instead of 70 hours in 8 days. Another thing that's different is on regular FMCSA OTR rules, you're required a 10-hour break or an 8-hour sleeper berth or a 7-hour sleeper berth, right? In Texas, you just need 8 hours off duty. Once you have 8 hours off duty, all your clocks reset, other than your 70 and 7 days. Now, that's the next big difference. All right, now if you're hauling general freight, intrastate, general freight that stays in the state of Texas, let's say you pick up Americold in Dallas and deliver to Americold in Amarillo, whatever, you got to follow the regular 34-hour reset for that type of freight. If you're oil and gas related, if all your company does is oil and gas related stuff, oil field stuff, that's frac sand haulers, stuff like we do, chemicals, different things like that, you're only required to do a 24-hour reset. You don't have to do a 34. It's like literally I can go off duty for the next 24 hours. That resets my 70 in 7 days, resets my clock. That's another big difference with intrastate rather than interstate. Another difference with Texas intrastate hours of service is we're not required to do a 30-minute break. I don't have a 30-minute break, don't have to do one at any point in time throughout my day. I can run If I'm going to run it all day long, I can run 12 hours nonstop without taking a break. We don't have the 30-minute break like you do on when you're running Interstate. Now we'll take a look at my current log from today, and that way you get a clearer picture of the differences, because I am on Intrastate in Texas, also oil and gas. So let's take a look at that. All right, now let's see if I can do this without it being too foggy here. I cut off the lights to try to make this picture a little clearer. As you can see, it's 9:27 at night, and I started driving at 10:30 this morning. I drove a little bit, now I'm on wait time. Did a little bit of driving, now I'm on wait time. And it's and I started at about 10:30 this morning. And as you can see here, I was stopped for 8 hours. That reset my clock, and I took off this morning. I ended last night, about 2:15, 2:20 in the morning. Took off about 10:30 this morning. All right, so that's 8 hours. It resets my deal. I don't need a 10-hour break. And as you can see, that's off duty, not in the sleeper berth. So on Texas Interstate, all I need is 8 hours off duty, and that resets my clocks. Let's go look at the clocks. As you can see, there is no 30-minute break. It's not required. And I started at 10:30 this morning. It's now 9:28 at night. You see, my clocks are not ticking down. As long as I'm off duty, these clocks are froze. They won't move. No matter how long I stay off duty. Once I hit 8 hours, then these two clocks will reset. This one will go to 12. This one will go to 15. Hopefully that gives you a clearer picture of how these hours work. Well, there you have it. If you've ever wondered how intrastate hours work in the state of Texas, if you've ever wondered whether you have to follow interstate rules or interstate rules if you're driving just in Texas, there you go. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, there are some companies that are local. I know Cisco and different companies like that still require their drivers to follow FMCSA rules. It's up to the company as to how they want to work that. But if you're intrastate, by law, that's all you have to do right there. Y'all take care, stay safe. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and keep trucking.
Please call the medic, this beat came to me on a stretcher. In the lab, I step to the mic and feel like I'm Dexter. I'm a man, dark world, but I'm still shining like treasure. Yeah, I got joy like ha ha ha. Wait, and I can't wear smiles, that's fake. Then I'm between love and strong. Hate clock says no time for mistakes. Ring the alarm, sirens go off, but I'm calm. My life resides in his palm. Submit to my pops, respect for my mom. Honor them both, so my life will be long. Third time, is the charm of the third strike. Had to.